What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And today, guys, I am excited because I get to talk about one of my all-time favorite movies directed by Quentin Tarantino, and that is Reservoir Dogs, this latest release from Lionsgate on 4K. Reservoir Dogs on 4K. This will be our third movie from Quentin Tarantino on 4K. Of course, we've got Inglourious Basterds and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're getting ready to get Pulp Fiction, and I'm excited because I think this is the first time that I've actually got to review and talk about a Quentin Tarantino movie on this channel, and he's just one of my favorites of all time. So I'm really excited to get into talking about this all-time crime thriller classic right here. But look, before we get into it, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I cover physical media, new Blu-ray and 4K releases on this channel every single day. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely hit that subscribe button. You will enjoy this channel. Also, be sure to like this video, guys, and comment down below what your thoughts on Reservoir Dogs. Is this one of your favorite Tarantino films? Where does it rank in Tarantino's filmography? Let me know in that comment section below. And then let me know if you plan on purchasing this 4K. Before we get into talking about the actual movie, let's cut over to the table. I'm going to do a quick unboxing of this steelbook and show you all. Just give you the full tour of the packaging. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this insanely beautiful Reservoir Dogs 4K steelbook by Lionsgate. Like, this, in my opinion, is this year's American Psycho steelbook. Like, this is such a beautiful steelbook by Lionsgate, which of course, you know, Lionsgate just won a award for the American Psycho steelbook. So will they win another award for this one? I don't know. Only time will tell. 4 perfect killers, 1 perfect crime. You got the synopsis on the back. Just, I love this so much, guys. I love it. This is a Best Buy exclusive also as well. You got the cast of characters down here. You got the specs. This, of course, does include a 4K and a Blu-ray. Deleted scenes. You got some special features right there. You zoom down. You got the casting list. You got all the rest of the specs down below. I'll try to zoom in for you guys. And then we'll go ahead and take this out of the slipcover. I just love this cover. Like, this is such... As soon as I saw this, I was like, this is such a great idea. Just knowing this scene from the movie, knowing what it is, such a great idea. And I already did a little like short unboxing on the channel, but yeah, this is so beautiful. I love the ear bleeding with the showing the character figures and the blood. Like, it's so awesome. Just like walking, the design work is just top notch. And then we'll show the spine right here. Great stuff. And then the back, very simple, but I like it. I like it. And then we'll go ahead and open this up. This is the part that really surprised me, just really stands out for me. But I love this disc art. Like, they could have made it similar to the steelbook, but they did something different with it, just incorporating the you know, the nicknames of everybody in the movie: Mr. Pink, Mr. Orange, Mr. White, and Blue, and all that, blonde and red. I love that, how they incorporated that in with the guns, because I was saying for a while, like, I was hoping that they would do like different steelbooks with all the different characters like they did back in the day with the DVD. But just awesome design work on this, on these discs right here. And I'm assuming that this has the same you know, disc design in the 4K slipcover, but hopefully you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. If you got the slipcover and the discs are different, just let me know. But then you got the outlinings of everybody right there. Just super awesome. I love this steelbook so much. This is probably, I'd have to go back and remember everything that's come out this year from Lionsgate as far as their steelbooks, but this is probably the Lionsgate steelbook of the year for me as far as I'm concerned. It's such an incredible steelbook. But all right, guys, that's the unboxing. Let's go talk about the movie and the transfer. So I am a lifelong fan of Reservoir Dogs. This is not a movie that I just watched for the first time. I know I say that a lot on this channel, but I am a lifelong fan of Reservoir Dogs. I've been watching this movie since I was a kid. I grew up loving like horror movies and comedies, but this was like my first memory of watching like a movie, like a dramatic movie, like a crime thriller type movie, like the first type of this genre that I remember watching and enjoying as a kid. And I don't know, there was just something different about it when I saw this movie for the first time. Something just felt different. It was different than anything else I'd ever seen before, so I just kind of gravitated towards it. I was probably 10 or 11 when I saw this, so I probably saw it around 1994, 1995, maybe 1996, somewhere in that area. But I'm pretty sure I saw this movie before I saw Pulp Fiction. And I remember watching both of those, but as a kid, like, I loved this movie. This is the one that I always went back to. You know, it came out in 1992, directed, of course, by Quentin Tarantino. Great cast in this movie. You got Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Steve Buscemi, Chris Penn, all back when they were in their prime, and they're just the perfect actors to be in a movie like this and just play the characters so perfectly. It's basically about a jewelry heist that went wrong, and then you have that group of criminals that is left dealing with the aftermath and suspecting one another of being the informant, the one that disrupted the actual heist and kind of ratted all of them out. So you have everybody pointing fingers at each other. So it's kind of like that basic setup. And I don't want to get into too many like plot points within the movie, because if you haven't seen this movie, definitely get this 4K. We'll talk about that here in a second, and watch this movie and enjoy this movie for the first time. You can see so many of the movies, the crime thrillers, and just the movies that you love through the 90s and the 2000s came from this movie. The dialogue in this movie, and this is probably what drew me to it when I was a kid, because it was kind of lighthearted and comedic and stuff. It's very different from a lot of crime thrillers. Like, you have a lot of crime movies, a lot of dramas, stuff like that, and usually all the criminals and everybody's just talking about the task at hand. They're talking about business. In this movie, you have the criminals talking about normal things. They're sitting together, they're eating breakfast, they're just talking about normal stuff. About you have Quentin Tarantino, who also cast himself in this movie as Mr. Brown. He's not in the movie a ton, but he's in the movie in the beginning. Talking about Madonna, talking about music, talking about tipping waitresses, whether it's right or wrong to tip a waitress, which is an incredibly funny and hilarious scene that Steve Buscemi just perfectly delivers every line of dialogue in that scene. So you have characters just talking about, sitting around talking about normal stuff. You didn't really see that in these types of movies before this movie, but after this movie, you started to see it in a lot more stuff. So yeah, I absolutely just adore this movie. I adore this movie so much. Now, I will say that it's very hard to rank Tarantino's movies. I'll do that at some point on this channel. I would like to do that at some point. I don't know. I really don't know. As good as this movie is, and as much as I love this movie, I don't even know if this movie would make it in my top 5 Tarantino movies. Whereas at one point, this was my favorite Tarantino movie, but he's just had so many great movies like in his career. It's just really hard, but I do love this movie so much. It's such a good movie, but that's just a testament. That just speaks to how great of a filmography that Quentin Tarantino has. Like, it's just all bangers. Like, to me, he doesn't miss. There's not one movie in his filmography that is bad, in my opinion. So I love this movie. I love everybody in this movie. I love the way that story's told in this movie. It's a great movie. Definitely check out Reservoir Dogs if you haven't already. Absolutely. To me, it's a 5 out of 5 movie for me. I love this movie. But getting into the transfer, guys, and this is where it gets good. Again, I love the movie, and I was glowing about talking about the movie. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this damn transfer real quick, because holy shit, Lionsgate deserves all the credit in the world. They deserve all the praise. This is a native 4K restoration of this film with HDR and Dolby Vision. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have this Blu-ray, which I popped in. This Blu-ray came out in 2007 and looks like complete dog shit. This is basically the DVD just kind of upscaled to HD. And it doesn't look like any work was put into this at all, as far as like a Blu-ray HD restoration at all. Like, this looks almost like it's DVD quality. So again, I bought this a couple of years ago, and I don't even think I've watched this because I didn't own this movie on Blu-ray for the longest time. But I have owned this DVD since 2002, since this first came out. And I remember when these came out for the 10th anniversary, they had 6 different covers with all the different colors of the different characters on it, which I always thought was super cool. It's one of the best, DVD physical media promotional releases of all time, in my opinion. I just love that. And I got the Mr. Blonde edition, probably because it was the only one in store. I can't remember exactly why I got this version. But this is a great release right here, DVD release that you can kind of open up. You got a nice little booklet on the inside. So yeah, I've had this one for a long time. Take it out of the slipcover, and you have this image on the front as well. Tons of special features on this release also. This is a multiple disc edition that has some great Fantastic disc art. What am I doing? A DVD review here? Anyway, I just wanted to kind of explain. So this was probably the last time I watched this movie. When I watched this movie before leading up to the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood coming out, I probably watched it on this DVD. If not, maybe I watched it on streaming. I'm not sure. So I had never watched this Blu-ray before, but popping in the Blu-ray for this review and checking it out because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. Tons of people said this was absolute dog shit, and they're right. It is. But yeah, this looks bad. This looks really bad. So going from this to what I would say is a top 3 4K disc of 2022 is a huge, significant upgrade. Like if you look, even if you're not into upgrading everything to 4K, if you're like, my Blu-ray's fine, this is an example of you absolutely have to, without question, upgrade your Blu-ray to 4K. There is no question in that. The quality jumping from this Blu-ray to that 4K is seriously night and day. Like I said, there's not much of a difference between this and a DVD. There's really not. So you will never, I'm telling you right now, I watch this 4K. I'm going to be gushing about this 4K for a while. You will never need another upgrade of this movie. This transfer is immaculate. This is a perfect 4K transfer by Lionsgate. They did a terrific job here. This is the standard. This is the standard, guys. And I've been watching a lot of 4Ks recently, doing reviews, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles really was an example of a not so great 4K transfer. But just everything I've watched, I feel like I've been saying, oh, it looks pretty good. This looks good. This is definitely an upgrade. You know, this looks fine. When you watch a transfer like this, where like Reservoir Dogs in 4K, it just reminds you of the possibilities of what could be done with a great 4K restoration, just perfectly utilizing that HDR and the Dolby Vision to the fullest effect. And when you're reminded of that, it kind of just makes you a little upset at all the other studios and just the possibilities. It's like, why can't all of you all do this kind of work, this level of work, and all of your restorations? And I understand that not all the films out there have the same materials to mine from. The picture quality here is crystal clear with a very fine grain structure that is only there to give you a very subtle reminder that you're still watching a movie on film. But my God, this movie looks like it could have been shot today. Like, it looks as good as a movie that you would see in the theaters today. The work that they did, I could not believe my eyes. Everything looks good. I was blown away by the details here. The faces, like just from the opening, I had heard things. People have already been talking about this, praising this 4K transfer. They've been talking a lot about this. So I knew it was going to be good going in, but it still did not prepare me for what I saw when I first popped in this disc. And that whole breakfast table scene starts. And I'm just looking around the table, looking at all these dudes, these older dudes, and you can see everything, like every single wrinkle in everybody's face. But the hair is what really got me. Like, you can see the hair on their head so perfectly. Like every little individual hair on somebody's head, you can see perfectly. It's like you're in the same room with them, sitting next to them, and you can literally like reach out and run your hand through their hair. Like it's so perfect. You know, the sweat, like there's a scene with Harvey Keitel and he's like sweating profusely, sweat beads rolling down his face, and it kind of closes up on him. And that stuff, it looks so good. Like I cannot express enough. Like, I feel like I talk about this stuff and talk about 4K transfers in this way all the time, but I cannot express to you enough how much better this is than almost every other 4K that I viewed this year. Even ones that I praise, like Poltergeist, like The Lost Boys, which were great transfers by Warner Brothers. Don't get me wrong, but Jesus, like this just reminds you like what can be done with a good 4K transfer. And I just thought that they did such a great job. The HDR and the Dolby Vision gives the movie such a lush vibrancy with the colors and just makes it so rich. Like, there's so much blood in this movie, in particular, like coming out of Tim Roth's character of Mr. Orange. And there's just so much blood like all over the floor. It's just such a bloody kind of gory movie, and all that stuff looks great. When you look at some of the backgrounds that the characters are standing in front of, like I was just in awe, just looking, like watching people perform and act with each other, but also just kind of gazing around all the rooms they were in just to see the details I could pick out. And it was just incredible. Like, you could just see everything. It was a really, truly an amazing 4K viewing experience. I cannot say enough good things. This, honestly, guys, it might be the best 4K, at least of an older movie this year. Top Gun Maverick is probably the standard as far as a newer movie, but as far as like an older restoration, this might be the best one that's been done all year. And I'm not even exaggerating. This is such a great 4K transfers. Can't say enough good things about it. Getting into the sound, guys, this is a Dolby True HD 5.1 in English. It also has a Spanish option 2.0. So I don't believe any upgrades were made on the audio here. I'm pretty sure it's the same audio that was present on the Blu-ray. I know there's some people that had some problems with that, but I don't believe personally this is a movie that you need the Dolby Atmos or 7.1 or anything like that in this movie. So that didn't really bother me. Getting into the extras real quick. You only get, again, this is a minor criticism because the transfer in the movie is fantastic, guys. You're buying this for that alone. I'm telling you right now, that's where all your money's going to go. So I can't criticize them too much here. They do include, the documentary from the Blu-ray, which is about 15 minutes, kind of a making of documentary of Reservoir Dogs. And they also include, which is called Playing It Fast and Loose. They also include profiling the Reservoir Dogs and some deleted scenes, which I'm pretty sure all of those special features are present on this Blu-ray. But I think the Blu-ray has a couple more special features that this one doesn't. Now, again, it would have been nice if they included all the special features that was present on the Blu-ray and also the special features that are present on this DVD. Because if you can look back on this DVD, there are tons of special features that they could have pulled from this DVD and put on this, 4K Steelbook and Blu-ray edition. So another thing I need to note, guys, I didn't note it, but the Blu-ray in this set is not the same shitty Blu-ray from back in 2007. This is a new Blu-ray transfer. So the Blu-ray in this case right here isn't upgraded. It is a 4K scan and it looks incredible as well. I popped in that Blu-ray. It looked amazing. Didn't have the richness of color because it didn't have that HDR. But it looked absolutely fantastic, that Blu-ray in this set. So no worries there. If you haven't upgraded to 4K yet and you just want to buy this because it's a nice Steelbook, you're still going to get to enjoy incredible quality with this movie on Blu-ray and even greater quality when you finally upgrade to 4K. So no worries there for sure. But yeah, all the extras are on the Blu-ray disc. You only get the 2 extras or the 3 extras from this previous Blu-ray. Nothing new, but it would have been nice if they included the DVD features as well. And obviously, guys, look, it's a 30th, and I keep saying this all the time, it's a 30th anniversary. Give us something new, like some kind of new interview or something. Like, why? I don't get it. But again, it's hard to criticize Lionsgate too much. For one, they're offering this at a very affordable price. You can get the 4K for $17.99, which like nobody can compete with that right now, especially at the quality that this is. And this Steelbook, which is an incredible Steelbook, is $21.99. So you really can't beat that value. So guys, look, at the end of the day, this is a absolute, without question, must own for your collection. There's a Steelbook option for this. There's a slipcover option. If you are a fan of this movie, you have to own this. No question. Don't buy any. If you put all your money into this, if you've only got $17.99 to spend this week on movies, don't buy anything else. Buy Reservoir Dogs on 4K. I'm telling you right now, it's absolutely worth it. So thank y'all so much for watching my review of Reservoir Dogs. I know this went a little long, but I had a lot to say about it. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We cover physical media on this channel every single day. Also comment down below your thoughts on this movie and this 4K, and if you're going to pick it up based on my recommendation, turn on the bell notifications and follow me on all my social media accounts down below, and we'll see you next time.